Yeah, consider this.
Hello, everybody.
Shut up, Julian. We have to do math,
Hey,
I'm not done
everyone.
with you, Sean.
Hey there, Twitch.
There's a movie
Thank you
called
for tuning in.
Ramageddon. Alright, I'm keeping my Star subscription.
We're streaming.
Sponsored, by the way, not actually.
Somehow I think that was the origination of that Star subscription. It was Ramageddon. I gotta watch this. Subscribe, get distracted, forget. 45 months
Never
later.
watch it. Come back
Yes.
45 months later. Oh, I need to cancel this. Llamageddon! Oh, let's go.
Dude, that's going on my October playlist.
Alrighty, well, thank you, Twitch, for tuning in. Thank you, everybody. This is our Linnunrata campaign. We're continuing on. We're broadcasting on the Adventure League's Discord Twitch channel. That's a place where you can come play Dungeons and Dragons. If you're interested, check out the links down below. But we'll get going tonight. We're missing Guy, who is away somewhere. I don't know where. But we're able to kind of keep going here, and we'll so we don't take too much time off. So we'll continue on. Does anybody remember where we're at? Does anybody want to take a chance at a recap, or should I go ahead and do that for? I know it's been a little while since we played here.
Hang
God,
on,
if
let
only
me
someone
pull up
upload the old
the-
episodes to YouTube, then I could catch
That's
up.
right.
Let me-
Okay, so last session. So go ahead, Claire.
Oh no, I've got the notes up here.
Yeah, go for it. Claire.
I think we didn't really do much last session. We were still in.
Yeah.
No, wait. Yeah, no, sorry. After we discussed with Jarmel, because turns out he's already in Hammer and Anvil, so it's like, hey, why don't we meet up? Sure thing. We met up. We walked around town a lot, and we discussed our plans, like what we want to do next. We got details from Jarmel about the blue dragon mask, which he asked us to retrieve. That is being kept in the Rarin Desert, in the ruins of the old empire of its name is written down here somewhere. A very old empire of wizards. Yeah, very weird name. It's crazy. But we got some information from him about that. We also got information about Rodea Firehair and her death/disappearance, as well as her daughter's death. That's going on in Lincoln and Jackson's hometown. So yeah, they got a lot of, like, the political situation right now. The suspects are running for mayor, or at least one of them is. The other one, we don't know what he's doing. There's not a lot of information about him out right now. But we got what we could. And right now, the plan is we got some tabards ordered and got them for Lincoln and Vintash to make sure that they can have basically AC, like air conditioning armor, rather than AC to hit armor. And
both,
now,
to be honest.
yeah, both is good. And then now we are heading off to the city of Sharbid, which from there we will be catching a airship. From there we'll be catching an airship to the city of Ampere, which is closer to Rarin. But for now, Jarmel is personally escorting us on top of his black skull-mounted carriage.
Skull-mounted carriage.
Like, this man just showed up with a pimp ride and picked us up, and now we are headed to, as I said, the city of Sharmid, which is right here in the Shar. And I
Next
think,
to the shark.
yeah, and we cut off as we were leaving, and Jarmel fired his guards, basically, for the time being.
Well, a couple of you refused to sit inside, so the ones that were on top had to find another way home.
Listen, I just wanted a room with a view.
They could sit inside. Don't don't stopping them.
Yeah.
They that would put them in position to hear privileged information, which they're not paid to be privy to. So very good. So yes,
Common man can't be trusted.
they can be, which is why they're his guards. But it is not necessarily in the best interest of everybody to know
Workers, rise up.
all the information.
Just hear Jackson screaming from below.
So yes, you guys find yourselves riding with Jarmel. As you guys get into the carriage, you do see those that are riding inside. The carriage does appear to be a bit larger on the inside, as you see this kind of like a uh, large area, maybe 20 feet by 20 feet uh, inside, whereas the carriage itself is only about 6 feet wide and 10 feet long. So it seems to be this kind of extra dimensional kind of space that's inside of here that's a bit larger than normal. You see the very comfortable seats. There's like even like a little mini bar kind of thing that's set up on one side of it. These guys got to ride in style. Um, so as you guys kind of you begin heading off as you head along the road there to towards Sharmid. As you guys head along the Great Rift, you kind of see so out as you look off to the out the right side of your carriage to the northeast, you pass along the Great Rift there. This enormous cavern, kind of imagine like the Grand Canyons of the United States, um, kind of that kind of thing, but much wider. Isn't there's this entire kind of and Jarmel, as you pass, will explain that the Great Rift was formed when the dwarves that lived underneath there, they have dug tunnels and mines throughout the entire region, but they were attacked by drow, and in the ensuing chaos, um, they brought the entire thing collapsed, and so it brought down like that whole thing just dropped essentially down into the mines, crushing off a lot of the old mines and things like that and destroying everything. So he kind of gives you this little history lesson as he prepares himself a drink, offers any of you one as you if you'd like. He sticks his head out the window at one point and calls up to is it who else is on the top? Is it Damalia? It was
It's
it
Damalia and Lincoln.
Yes.
and Lincoln. He'll kind of call up drinks for you, my love.
I'm okay,
Ah.
thank you.
Nice.
What have you got on tap, sweetheart?
Like whatever you wish.
Hmm. Wild whiskey, please, on the rocks.
Um, very good. So he kind of sticks his head back in and turns to Jackson and Huntar and Vintash. Vintash will take some sort of hard dark liquor, I'm sure.
Some
But
bourbon.
Jackson and Huntar, any specific drink
I want
information?
something
Or
tasty.
tasty?
We give this man a fruit cup.
He will.
He'll just say he wants something tasty, and that's it.
Okay.
Chocolate milky.
Oh my god.
Email.
So as he
I want chocolate milk.
okay.
No, IRL. IRL, I want chocolate milk.
Okay. Um,
God.
he will. Why don't we do it in game too? So
Okay.
he will go ahead and whip up. You kind of start making these drinks as he's talking and kind of just giving you almost like a little bit of a tour guide kind of like thing as you guys are talking about the Great Rift there. He will make the drinks for you. Oh, I'm sorry, Hunter. Did you say? Did you have any?
Yeah, I'll take a Long Island iced tea.
Of course.
I'll look at him like,
He says,
Rhode
"I'm
Island?
not familiar with that location, but um, I'll see what I can come up with."
why is
I
the
have
island
ice
Take
tea.
long?
a bunch of liquor and just pour it all in there,
Uh,
and then float over like tea.
Do you want a Long Island iced tea or do you want a trash can?
It's
Yeah.
the same thing.
He'll start a pot of tea, and then he'll make your drinks. Damalia, you'll see like as you're kind of up there on the top, you'll see that there's like you have the seats that are up there. You'll see kind of in between the seat that's in between you guys. You'll suddenly you hear a ting 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 of ice against a cup, and you'll see like there's a cup has appeared in between you on the seats.
Jesus. Wow, that's
I don't
Could
trust
be.
that. That's strange.
Meanwhile, yeah, he'll whip up a bit of he'll whip up a chocolate milk for
Let's go!
Jack. Huh?
Like,
Let's go!
Yeah, and it is very sweet because it is like it is it's not watered down kind of milk or chocolate. It is like pure cocoa, kind of like
Oh
you've
my
seen like so it is intense.
Pure undiluted Yahoo, baby.
Yeah,
Hell
and
yeah.
I
and
changed my mind, Julian. Can I get an Oreo Blizzard from Dairy Queen?
Oh my god.
you get a milkshake, a chocolate milkshake also.
Let's go!
Holy shit, this is amazing.
Yeah,
So-
fuck yeah, we're thriving over here.
So and
Dude.
Huntar, he will like just take a bunch of liquors and pour them into a tall glass, and then pour a little bit of tea and stir it up and put like a little sprig on top. And
It's
he
not
says,
even an iced tea. It's just hot tea.
well, but he mixes
That
it
probably
all up
tastes
and
awful with
gives
the
it to
hot
you.
tea.
Well, he's got ice in it, but so it's
Yeah.
diluted a bit. Uh, but he hands it to you and says, "I'm not sure if that's correct, but let me know. Hopefully, there's enough alcohol in there where it won't matter."
Just like Mom used to make.
Just a big helping heap of Sharpie marker on the way down. Just
So
straight Everclear all the way.
So as you guys are traveling through here, he asks just so, how have your adventures gone? How was Earthheart? I don't think we got a chance to. I'd heard that you'd done well, but I didn't get much of a details. How have things been going?
Well, we rescued a bunch of the dwarven miners there and got rewarded as heroes and have an audience with the king whenever we want, basically. So
Impressive.
about as well as anybody could expect.
This is impressive. Those dwarves are very staunch about not letting any non-dwarven citizens into the city. So impressive that you are able to have an audience with the king on demand. You must have done well. But I knew you would have.
Oh, we fought a giant mouth.
Threw me into a
Don't
wall.
I
ask
think it
for more
was-
details. There aren't anymore. It was a giant mouth.
I think it was slightly more detailed than that. A
Definitely
little
one of the
more.
most things I've
It
ever
had
seen.
2 arms.
Oh, Huntar, I don't think I showed you. It threw me so hard I can do this. And Jackson just turns invisible.
I literally don't see a difference.
By the way, I'm going to retcon something real quick because I think it more fits what his courage would be like. He didn't lean out the window to call up to you. He would have just like you're able to somehow as you're on the top there, you guys can hear the conversation inside, and he can hear your like conversation. Like it's like he has like an intercom that he can turn on and off kind of thing. So like a magical kind of intercom. So you don't know where it's coming from. You just kind of know that you like almost telepathically can hear what is being said down below when it's being addressed to you.
It's going to be the bubble again.
So you
Oh,
guys are able
no.
to so Damalia and Lincoln on
You can
top,
do
you
it.
guys are able to hey man, I'm managing a lot of names here. There's like 6.
6. 6 whole NPCs.
Wow. Dude,
What are the 2 birds named?
Oh yeah, that's right. What's her name? I forget.
Oh my god.
You can do Yeah, I know it's in the notes.
Sherry.
And there's another bird in the party, you know this.
Yeah, well that one doesn't matter. I'm just kidding.
Whoa!
Chuck, it's Chuck.
The team mascot always matters, motherfucker.
I
Chuck is the other
appreciate that
reason we're
they're.
alive.
I'm sure it's a complete coincidence, but I just like the fact that they're both CH names.
Yeah. I did not. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, so he's kind of asking you about that. You say, a giant mouth. And he's like, oh, well, that's interesting. Who knows what wonders and abominations lie underneath here? Says, although there are aberrations and things that we've come across in the past that would boggle the mind. You never know. Since have you ever heard of these things called beholders?
I think I heard a fairy
I
tale
hear they
about one
hold
once.
beauty.
Maybe their own. They typically think they are the pinnacle of creation. But there, if you ever come across a floating body that is just one big eye, big mouth full of teeth, and a bunch of little stalks with eyes on it, you might want to stay away. Those things can be pretty nasty if you're on the wrong side of them.
That sounds horrifying.
That sounds like Jackson's two least favorite things: being seen and then being eaten.
I think
It
that's the latter one at least is a lot of people's least favorite thing.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever met anyone who's enjoyed being eaten in that sense of the word.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
I don't trust. I
Uh-oh.
don't trust that.
Can you feel the inferno swelling within you?
Uh,
To change the topic, I'm still recovering from my concussion from being thrown by that thing. Are we on our way to Koltar?
We are going to pass through Koltar on our way to Sharmid. Did you need to make a stop?
Awesome. No, please, no. Do not stop there at all. Just
Uh-oh.
go right through. If we can go around, that's even better. Just not. I don't want to be
Okay.
there for very long.
Hunter, weren't
Alright.
you housed up for a while in the forest of Amtar? It sounds
Yeah,
familiar,
and
but
the place I left where I was born was Koltar. So if we could not hang around long, I'd rather not see my parents. If if they're still alive.
no, I get that. We should see if we can stay around it, maybe.
You see, as Jarmel hears you say that, he's going to press another, like, on the little mini bar that he's at. You're going to see he's going to press like a glyph, and then he's going to say, uh, "Driver, make sure that we do not stop at Koltar. We'll pass through." And Damalia and Lincoln, you guys don't hear it, but you just hear the driver says this. All right, sir. We'll make sure we pass through. And you guys in the cabin hear it. And then he like lets go of the glyph and
we'll be sure to hit the truck stop outside and then go around.
Yeah, there's a Denny's like 50 feet out. It'll be
Yeah.
fine.
yeah. So you guys you guys continue on as you're going through here. And he says, "No, I have questions about that, but I imagine that that's not something you want to share to Hunter."
Koltar is incredibly racist, and for this, not great to deal with racists. So may have just skirted town when I was 16, and didn't necessarily tell my parents I was leaving. So I'm just want to avoid that conversation. I don't plan on ever coming back here. They had no intention of ever leaving. It doesn't need to come up.
Yes. All right. He says, although he says, and he kind of points to the like the symbol that you got from Earthart. He says, it would be rather sweet comeuppance to walk around there and know that all of them have to pay deference to you.
No, they're more likely to jump me. They're not smart people, as most racists aren't. So
I will
Amen
break
to
they would
all
that.
of
just
their
assume I
bones.
stole it,
Yes,
or
I
that
like that idea.
or that the ruler of Earthheart is in the pocket of some demon or devil. They don't care which. They just, all of it is me. Demon, devil, fiend, whatever. They don't care about the distinction.
At least
No, I
cruise
never do.
together. That's just rough.
So, well noted. That's good enough reason. So you guys, let me see here. What is the distance here between these two cities? Is that
7 minutes
it's about
by
80,
highway.
80 miles? All right. Yeah, you guys would have just stopped there for the night on wagon would have made that trip in a day, but they'll stop outside the city instead, or stop just past it, I should say, as you guys are traveling through here. He says, um, so you guys kind of continue on. It gets towards as you guys continue, and he'll kind of as he finishes making himself the last drink, and he will come and sit down and he says, "So, is there any questions or anything that I can answer for you?" He says, "I have a lot more that I would love to find out from each of you, but is there?" Says, "I've been talking for a bit. Is there? I would be happy to answer any of yours."
I still have a concussion. I don't know what's going on. Still in my short-term memory's not all there right now, so I don't even know what questions to ask.
Right.
Who are you? Dude that thinks he's invisible.
Hang on. Eating my cheesesteak. I wasn't ready for that.
Jackson just mid sip of his chocolate milk.
Yeah, Jackson's choking on his chocolate milk. 1 second. Someone else go.
I'm just double checking because I know I have Darmel under one of these entries. I just can't see.
I know we made a plan. I don't remember what that plan is.
Here we are. I believe the plan is we are heading to Shamid. We're going to take an airship to Ormid, which we are
Right, we're
going to be
to a
navigating
desert,
ourselves.
aren't we?
Yes, and then we're going north to the Rara Desert.
Why are we going there?
We gotta
Because
find the dragon mask?
yes, the Bloom Dragon Mask is hidden
Yeah,
somewhere in the
someone's doing
ruins,
bad.
and the whole ruin government wants to safeguard it. Basically, they've already
Someone's
got some
trying
of
to
the dragon
commit a
masks.
terrorism.
Possibly, we don't know.
Oh, like we was doing.
There's a lot of "we" in that sentence.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, we all got arrested, and then you specifically tried to break us out. That all sounds like terrorisms.
I mean, I'm
So
sure it would have
anyway,
been terrorism.
Damalia, do you want to see something cool?
I would love to, dearest.
Can I borrow an arrow?
Does it need to be entirely intact?
Yes.
All right. Hang on.
And you're not getting it back once I fire it.
Just don't make a mess. I'll hand over one arrow.
Cool. I take out the longbow.
No.
Oh my god.
I draw the arrow. I aim it away from anything I can vaguely see that might look like there might be a
Wait,
person there.
As I hear this happening, I'm gonna say, Hunter, look out the window. Look that way, that way.
And just fire a log out into the wilderness.
So yeah, those of you inside the carriage, as you hear that, Jarmel will wave a hand, and you see that kind of part of the carriage wall will become translucent, and you just see Lincoln firing an arrow out of this bow, and as soon as he lets loose, just an enormous log. It transforms into an enormous log that goes flying off into the distance.
That's
You see it
impressive.
as it hits the ground,
How?
it hits the ground. It's hits the ground
so
and
cool.
splinters.
Holy shit.
That's so cool.
We bought this from the one magic store back in the other town. I wasn't sure who would want to use it because it fires logs.
Yeah, that's
Not the
a
most
lot of
dexterous weapon to use, but
it's a lot of arm work.
true. I'm not strong enough to aim it personally. I think Vintash might be, but
I'm shocked
you're
aren't
also
strong
better at archery than I am. So,
enough.
and it is a
I mean, I also thought I was better at fencing than you are, and that did not turn out to be correct.
I mean,
I
you're
will
probably
say-
more consistent at fencing.
Lincoln, your accuracy leaves a lot to be desired. If you miss something with a fucking log, though, you can't miss something with a fucking log.
Do you want to get up here and fire a log?
I kind of do, actually, yeah. That sounds
Get up here.
badass.
Is there a sunroof thing we can open up to reach down and grab Huntar and pull him up to the roof?
Yeah, there would probably be
We're in a
something like that.
Humvee.
There would probably be an escape hatch kind of thing at the top of the carriage there.
He's probably like, how are these the people I got stuck with? How are these our A team?
I'll hand Huntar the bow. It doesn't need attunement, so you can just go nuts.
Oh my god.
Alright, I draw one of my arrows and just fire it.
I'm gonna get low. In case he somehow manages to fire upward.
So you just fire it off into the random distance, and you just see this arrow that suddenly, as soon as it leaves, it transforms into this, like, what is it? How big is the log? Do you have the dimensions?
It's okay, so the log is as long as the arrow was, but it's 8 inches in diameter, which is huge. And last time we talked about this, we said they were oak logs, and they weigh like 70 pounds.
So this, like, chunk of a log goes shooting out, and you just see it, like, through the air, and you guys are all watching it, just like, oh my goodness. As you guys kind of look out in the distance, you see this, what looks to be like this little jackrabbit runs
No.
across.
No.
You see,
Jackson will just shout,
Violence!
Run!
you see, it's just like you hear somebody yell out, "Run!" The jackrabbit stops, looks around,
No!
and then right next to it,
Next to it,
the
Run!
next
jackrabbit
to
really turns and runs off.
Okay.
Okay, next to it. Holy
It's just like this log now planted about 8 inches deep into the earth, like it was grown there.
Holy shit.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sean,
So we have
I
a
have
siege
a-
weapon in our back pocket now.
Sean,
We'll
what
put the
if
bow
you
away.
use the bow and you
Mhm.
action surge with it? You just
Mhm.
fire 4 of those things off around.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's if you don't have a strength of 18 or higher, you fire at disadvantage.
That's fine. We just need to take up all the oxygen and make it into logs. Then the enemy cannot breathe.
These things are stronger than great swords, by the way. They deal 2d8.
Jesus.
They don't have any modifiers though, so your like strength and dexterity don't get added to it.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
This is amazing and also terrifying.
I figured it was a good purchase because I think literally everyone in the party can at least somehow use it.
Jackson will just look at his muscles like, I don't know if I should be using it.
Vintash will look at it, he says, see, he's like, yeah, everybody can use it. I won't fire it, but then I can go pick up the log, and then I can beat people with them.
Oh, that is something he would do.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, that's not the worst way
Oh,
we
no.
can use this weapon.
Jules, has the jackrabbit broken line of sight?
It is running off into the
Okay, good. Run, little one.
Julian,
Don't
I have a
let him catch you.
question. How
Yes.
much can you sell bulk lumber for in this universe? Can we break
Now
the
that's a
economy?
real question.
Because
That's a
if we can
really
get
good question.
like
That's
yeah,
a
you
really
buy
good
a
question.
bundle of arrows for like what is it, 1 gold for 20 arrows? You turn that
Not
into
even.
28-inch diameter, foot
It's like
long
a copper.
logs.
Uh-huh. The
And-
logs, you'd probably net about even, because a log, like an arrow length log, isn't going to turn into as much wood, and
True.
it's
It's also not processed, I guess. So
yeah, and it's not processed. So the like an arrow, part of the cost is making it into a fine arrow that
What
works.
if?
But
what
guys,
we
if you
become
ever need
Fletchers?
firewood,
That is a good point. What if we become Fletchers, though? What if we make our own custom arrows and make them as long as possible, and then we do a lumber business on the side to sell it?
we just load a javelin into the bow.
Yeah.
It's just like tree.
We have become the weaponized Lorax.
Jarmel
Someone
kind
give
of-
me 6 ballista rounds real quick. I'll be right back.
Those are good arrows.
Jarmel's gonna say, as he sees this and he sees you guys kind of talking about it, he's like, well, I know how I'll tell if you have been someplace. You'll apparently be leaving calling cards.
Yeah.
Dude,
Kind of
if we
become
ever
our
find
thing.
a locked door, just draw an arrow at it.
Yeah,
Note
I
to
guess that thing's
self,
going to be needing a
read
lot of money.
restores.
Note to self.
Just imagine how terrifying it would be. Like you're like fighting someone, right? And they're going to shoot you with an arrow. You're like, oh fuck, I have to get out of the way of this arrow. But then it just turns into a fucking 70-pound fucking bullet and just slams you in the chest. You're not dead, but you're pretty sure you heard something snap and you can't move.
And it's great because I don't have to be accurate to use this thing. I
Yeah.
can just Action surge, like
Saturate
the.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's a
god.
fucking saturation bombing. Just fire, unleash, Ultima.
Dear God,
Tacos.
what have we done?
Big fat taco so big. Hey, welcome back, Devon.
What?
I said welcome back. This is the session you're coming back to.
Oh, hey,
The
Shro.
longbow session.
What's up, Shro?
Oh, hey, sure.
Hello, Shro.
You have a bow that fires logs.
Yeah. True. Yes, that is usually how it goes. This one, while I do regret it to some degree, as it may be abused. It's just too funny. It's
It
just
is
too
really
funny.
funny.
Yeah.
I will. I can't take it back. Um. So, yep, you guys, as you guys start to get towards and pass by Koltar, you do, Jarmel is going to tell Lincoln and Damalia that you may want to put on some sort of mask or cloth covering your face as you pass by. And you guys see it because as you coming from a while, you do see that there is it's a very industrialized kind of city where there's a lot of waste from forges, but it means that there's like this a lot of smoke that's generated out of this city. So there's kind of this almost perpetual kind of dark cloud that kind of is emanating from above it. Is they have these as you guys pass, you see these iron covered walls around the city that are they're really impressive. It's like a massive fortress. There are 100-foot double outer walls of this city. So it is,
Whoa.
yeah, and they have a
Wow.
30-foot wide trench in between each of them. So it's like way over engineered defenses for this place. But as Hunter knows, it's very much a city of forging. So there's it is, but it's also kind of like um the shadier kind of side. There's not the people that are there are the ones that are like thieves and or merchants of less repute and things like that. They're the ones who don't want to go to Hammer and Anvil because Hammer and Anvil is more tightly regulated. There's the prices are a little bit higher there because everything is much more orderly and above board. Whereas here it is not so much the same thing. Like if you wanted to get stuff made of iron and made cheaply, you can come to here. But the sky, you could tell the sky overhead is this kind of black and sooty by day. It's kind of this kind of gross kind of
Mm.
area as you guys pass by. So he does recommend like you put like a little mask over your face too, uh, to help filter the air as you guys pass through. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Damalia will like partly out of that and partly out of like consideration for Huntar, Damalia will just kind of annoyedly but understanding the necessity of all just like whip out her cloak, put it on, hood down, hat tilted down, and just like use part of the cloak to cover her mouth.
Yeah, Lean will put goggles over his eyes, hood up, and then tuck the bottom of the cloak up over his nose under the goggles.
Mhm. So, yeah, you guys, as you guys pass by, Jarmel is going to say, he says, I can see why you don't want to stay there, Huntar. He says, from what I've heard, that the ruler of the city too is he's got his hands in a lot of illicit pies. Says that might be something that might need to be dealt with at some point, but I think that's probably out of. So if you ever want to go back and clean up the city and get revenge, he says you let us know. You will be sponsored in that.
The only way to clean up
Absolutely.
that city is just an arm sweep.
Yes.
Yes. Who knows? Maybe the Great Rift will grow one day and swallow the city. Uh, so as you guys get about 5 miles past the city or so, you see the carriage will kind of pull over. It's definitely into the evening time. And you kind of look back. You look back towards Koltar as the sun kind of goes down. Even as it's down, you see this kind of inside the city, kind of the haze over the city, and now the light from all the forges in the city kind of creates this kind of orange glow of above the city. Um, as you guys look back towards it as you make camp here. You see the carriage drivers get off and they start preparing like a normal campfire and camp as outside the carriage, whereas Jarmel will step outside and you see he performs a spell that you've seen him do before. Is suddenly a door appears and he opens it, and inside on the other side of this door is what appears to be this kind of magnificent like mansion inside of this area. And he says, "You're welcome to spend your night either places. Our guards would, I'm sure, would love the company. And if you want to rough it," he looks at you, Huntar. He's like, "They can easily set up a hammock for you if you'd like to stay in the more outdoors. But if you want to sleep in a bit more of the creature comforts that some people enjoy, you're welcome to stay inside with me."
I appreciate the accommodations, and then I walk upstairs.
Okay.
Well,
So-
I guess if I'm invited, I will indulge.
Vintash is going to he says, "I've always been a man of the people. I'm going to stay out here with the guards." And he walks over and starts like kind of sits down next to them and starts helping them cook up some food.
Have fun, pumpkin.
Meanwhile, if the rest of you guys follow Jarmel in, you do see like it is like just a well-appointed mansion that you would see in a really fancy city and from some noble's house inside of here. There even appear to be servants that are coming in and out. And he says, uh, "Don't get too attached to them. They are just constructs of the spell. They disappear and reappear with the coming and going of it. So they don't carry much memory other than what I imagine for them to remember. So, uh,
I will name this one Niles, and if anything happens to him, I will be destroyed forever.
that one," he says, um, "Niles, reporting for duty." As you say that, and he says, "Is there anything I can do
Aw.
for you, sir?"
Fucking
Live
What-
your
what
life,
an order.
Niles. Be free.
live.
Wow.
I'm not ready.
So um, he he says, "Yes, take any of the rooms up there. You're welcome to it. Choose whichever one best suits you." He says he talks to one of the like butlers that comes up. He says, "And how long till dinner is ready?" And they say, "It will be ready in 30 minutes, sir." Uh, and so Jarmel says, "Well, in 30 minutes, if you'd like to join me, the dining room is right through here." And you see, like, the upstairs stairways, it kind of, like, as you enter in, there's the foyer kind of area, and you see there are two stairways that kind of sweep up and around and go up to the upper story. And then there's like a long hallway of rooms that kind of goes around. But in between the stairways, if you go straight, appears to lead to like a grand dining room. And he points, "We'll be
Wow.
right in there."
I hope we don't have to dress up for the occasion.
He says, "Dress up, dress down, whatever you're comfortable with." He says, "Is perfectly fine."
I'll make a note of that.
This all seems a little much for me personally. I think I might go outside and train with Vintash for a bit instead.
He says, "Are you sure?" It's says, he says, as you do these adventures and you earn more gold, you are going to find yourselves in rubbing more shoulders with people that do have better accommodations. It's not to say that you can't still help and associate with the people in need, but um, you may want to get comfortable with this kind of luxury when you're able, so that you can be more comfortable dealing with those people.
Hmm.
I can be comfortable enough with it, but we are also heading into a desert, so getting comfortable outside is also going to be important. And I will walk outside.
He nods. Uh, he says, "Well, all right then. It'll be 4 for dinner." And you see, he walks off to another room that's off to the side, and he says, "I'll see you in 30." And you guys can head
See you
up and
then.
walk up. And each of the rooms that as you guys go into, there's very similar in a lot of them. They're very kind of like really fancy rooms. They have each room has its own personal like little bath area, which there is as you kind of open it up, it's like inside. There's a giant tub that's there, like this cast iron, those cast iron clawfoot tubs. Is
Mhm.
there not cast iron, but those clawfoot tubs? It's like a large one of those, and you see there's water in it already, and it's steaming, and there's like a little trickle of water that is slowly kind of water falling down into the tub. There's to kind of fill it from the ceiling. You see there's all kinds of appointments around there, and sweet smelling perfumes and oils and things in the room. The bed and the are very, the 4-poster beds kind of things, and super luxurious kind of uh, bedding and all that other stuff, as you would expect.
Of course.
But and then you guys, after about 30 minutes, if you guys have time to kind of clean up or change, you
So,
will hear like a dinner bell ring.
why the fuck did I buy this chipped bolt? Does anyone remember?
I think
Sorry?
you needed it for. I think you needed a bowl for a spell or something.
Oh, yeah, the chipped wool.
I
Oh wait,
remember
no,
now.
it was
I
from
remember.
like the item shop thing.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, okay.
Yep.
The clay wool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I had a plan for it. Okay.
I'm just gonna be outside and ask the guards if they want to spar at all, and then keep watch and such.
The guards, yeah, one of the guards is definitely he kind of he's like, all right, how he says, what's your game? Wrestling, swordsmanship,
Probably swordsmanship, but I can
or
be
dueling? I
flexible.
think is a better word for that.
Oh,
I'm flexible, whatever your preference is.
Rawr.
Jamal, you're gonna miss it.
Yeah, I know.
He says he's going to say, I think I think I'm good for a little bit of dueling.
Right.
Don't
Uh,
lose, Sean.
so let me get a stat block here to go to use here.
Oh shit.
I don't know if you
Look
need
at
a stat
this.
file. I was just gonna RP it, but okay.
Well, we might as well have something to roll
John, you're
again.
gonna get a stat block and you're gonna like it.
I'm either gonna miss every attack and he'll insta kill me, or I'll accidentally like cut his head off or something.
I don't know. If we see the stat block, it says CR15. I think you made a mistake.
Yeah.
It's all in HP. It's fine. I'll whittle him down.
It's
All
like,
right.
I can't hurt you, but you can't hurt me. You cannot kill me in a way that matters.
Alrighty. So, yeah, very good. So, yeah, he will take up his sword. You see, he's got a long sword and a short sword. He says,
Is he dual wielding?
"Huh?
Is he dual
He
wielding
is
then?
dual wielding, yes."
Oh,
um, as you see, kind of, uh, you see he starts like the other guards kind of like cheer him on as he kind of gets up and he's curious to see you're using which weapon are you using?
the only sword I have on me right now is Barbarian Spade.
Nice. Okay, so
So
that is a great sword, right?
it's a long sword.
What's it, a long sword?
Yeah.
I forget which one we made it. Yeah. All right. So
That and the shield. So
okay. Let's just we'll just roll an initiative roll here to see who's going to make first as far as going back and forth. Ooh. All right. So you will you guys kind of circle for a bit as you kind of have a little bit of a clearing there. As he's got his long sword out and his short sword to the side.
guess I'll go for it.
Mhm. Oh boy. All right. So hang on, let me. Let me just do this so we have kind of you guys, the two of you guys here. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Just go ahead and you go ahead and do the damage, and I'll be keeping
Oh,
track
jeez.
here. So we just kind of curious to see how this goes as you guys start going. So you can describe your attack here.
Okay. Just a heads up, it's only the one on the left side because
Okay.
the one-handed and two-handed are both in there.
Okay.
So it's just the 13.
Okay.
Lincoln I'll start just like we're doing like the circling thing. And Lincoln will put his weight on his back foot before charging forward and bring the shield in low,
Hmm.
and then just coming in from the side with an overhead swing and just catch him right in the ribs.
Okay. Yeah, you see he will try to like block the he'll like kind of lean into the shield to try and block it, but as you the impact it kind of pops him back and opens him up. So you're able to swing. You hear as you do, there's like everybody, including Vintash, is like, "Oh!" Meanwhile, as they this kind of big impact, he is going to. Oh, you still have your turn, so
Oh right. Oh, we're just doing both attacks. Okay.
we'll just do. We'll do it like we're doing like an actual combat here.
Oh, okay. 19.
A 19. Yeah, that will hit. Oof.
Same
Okay.
damage, 13. So after the hit into the ribs, Lincoln will just like bring the shield down onto his leg to knock him down to his knee, and then just cross him in the face with the pommel.
Mm, okay. Yeah, he kind of reels back from this. As you see, he kind of like takes a step back and kind of he spits out, and you see some bloods kind of splits out onto the floor, and a little bit of drool, a little bit kind of dripping from his lip, corner of his mouth there, and he says, "All right, that was good. Let me retort." And he will, well,
By all
unless you have
means.
any more actions.
Nope, that's it.
Okay. So he will come at you, and you see he's going to do kind of like a thrust with the longsword at first. That will,
Will
I think,
miss.
miss. And then he'll try and come across with the short sword. Also miss. Oh boy. But I think that might come close.
Oh, that last one will hit.
Okay. So yeah, so he comes through and he kind of slashes through a few times here, managing to cut in on the last of the attacks.
Yeah.
And then prepares for the return.
Okay. After blocking the thrust, parrying the short sword, and then getting caught in like the shoulder with the long sword, Lincoln's gonna go for an upward slash to hit at his longsword arm, and then a cross slash to hit the arm again from the other side.
Okay.
Oof,
Ooh. Yeah.
rough.
So he gets as he sees the big slash to come in on the longsword, he steps into you and kind of cuts off the distance, kind of like shoving you like with his elbow against your chest, pushing you backwards.
15 hit?
And he manages to parry that shot as that will miss. Um, he will again come back this time leading with the short sword and will miss, but then he
Miss.
swings a couple of times with his long sword. Oof,
Oh,
and manages to cut you on that one as that'll be 11 slashing there.
that's more like it. Come on.
Yeah, so he'll come in with the short sword with the quick attack. And as you're blocking, he'll be bringing down the long sword at the same time, managing to get that strike. But uh, you're able to recover quickly enough to block the next long sword attack.
Right. Go back in again. Jesus. Oh, right, because it crits on a 19 and a 20. I was like, oh, that's a different number.
That is, yeah, both will actually hit. The 17 just manages to get past his defenses.
12, and then, oh, 13. Lots of 13s. Lincoln will, so after like the two hits, uh, no, the next comment will be fun. We're not wasting them now. It's okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Lincoln will like kick him back to get out of his like close range, and then will lash out twice with the sword at his like whatever leg he lands on.
Mhm. Yeah, he will do that, and he is going to, as you kind of cut across the legs and kind of just pierce through. He he is going to he'll kind of fall to one knee where on his good leg, and he will hold up his hand at that point. Says, "Yield, I yield." Um, and he says, and he kind of with a everybody kind of gives a they kind of applause at the good fight there.
We'll
He kind of
sheath the sword and like give him a hand up.
he'll take it and as he kind of like sticks his long sword into the ground and takes your hand and well, I see why they hired you. He's like, I'm glad you're on our side. He kind of gives you the kind of like where you guys grip each other's forearm, kind of
It's
handshake kind
the
of thing.
bro handshake.
Yeah.
It's like
So
I can see why he's hired you. You're very skilled.
he kind of nods, picks up his swords and kind of puts them away. He says, and Vintash is like, Vintash is going to say, all right, who wants to wrestle? And the rest of the guys, we're good, we're good.
Oh, poor Vintash.
Aww.
So, but they start cooking up. You guys have they do have some pretty good food. Like they have some fresh meat that they're able to grill up, and you guys have very much a pretty good like grilled kind of dinner here. So like a good campground meal. Um, inside, you guys, as you if unless are you guys doing anything in the before dinner?
Uh,
Otherwise, I can just kind of skip
I
down
think
to that.
I don't think Damalia would be doing anything like serious. Just like she's gonna like change into the dress that Lincoln got her because she's gonna need to get used to being out of the latex and just freshen herself up a bit.
Okay. So, yeah, you guys come down for dinner, and it is you see, it's like we get down to the dining room, and it's one of these things with this exorbitantly long tables that can fit like 30 people if necessary. Um, and he's sitting at one side. He says, "Please don't sit on the other end. Come sit on this end. It's ridiculous." And, you guys have yeah, and you guys have essentially like a like 5-course meal where there's like little appetizers are brought out first and then your entrees as well as desserts and you're just able to have a nice pleasant meal as he kind of asks you. He'll say, "So, Damalia,
Mm.
you're heading back to this area." He says, "I know that's not necessarily the place that you'd like to return to, but are you okay with this?"
Well, I see no reason why the events of my past or my origin should stop me from doing what I need to do and doing what I want to do. Like, if my goal is to travel the world, why I feel it would be foolish to let something like that stop me.
That's good. I'm glad that you feel that way. He says, "I know sometimes heading back into these situations," as he kind of motions towards Huntar, he says, "sometimes going back to these places are not where you want to head back to especially if you're trying to see the world."
I certainly have my own concerns, but nothing that will get in the way of our work. As long as we are careful, it should be perfectly fine, and I know we will be.
He nods and says, "Especially if you're flying overhead, just make sure you don't leave your ship parked anywhere that somebody can try and steal it."
I'll try not to leave the ignition turned on.
Says,
Ignition.
For the engine. I believe that's how it works. It's either that or magical propulsion. I need to research that a little better. I hadn't had the time.
well, there's several different varieties. There's magical. There's uh, ones that use a propulsion-like system, and then there's ones that use elemental energy to propel themselves along. Uh,
Oh.
so you will. He says, "We'll see. We'll have to see what's available. You might be able to have your pick here of a couple of different kinds."
Hmm.
He
That
says.
would be spectacular.
he says, and Jackson, does are you comfortable talking about some of the things that we've discussed? Or
Yeah, I've filled mostly everyone here in on things, so doesn't bother me too much to talk about.
he says, are you anxious to? I'm surprised that you're not heading straight there after dealing with Earthheart and taking up this job instead. I'd assumed that you'd want to deal with that as soon as possible.
I want to be as ready as possible, though. It wouldn't be helpful if I also died there.
He says, yes, that's probably wise. He says, especially if you find him in the stronghold, that you will that will be a hornet's nest if you kick things off and you're not prepared for it.
I should be able to talk most of his crew into assisting us, or at the very least getting out of the way, but as we both know, he is a titan of a man.
Yes. He says that is true. He does uh he can be formidable, but uh what is the saying? The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Yes.
Well then, and he says, and Devon, are you there? I just want to make sure before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
He's
eating.
dead.
He says, so Huntar, how is Ty doing? Your husband? I didn't get to ask too much about it. I know you freed him, but
Yeah, he's doing well. He's hanging out with some of the elves right at the edge of the forest. Him
that's
and
right.
Medi over there, because Medi's being hunted. I don't even know. I don't know if Medi's still alive anymore.
He says, I'm sure he is. They, if he's with the elves of the Amtar, they're pretty going to keep him pretty safe. Plus, I believe that he had grown in some power, and Ty, if recovered, is very capable as well, right?
Of course.
Mm. It is quite interesting with Medi. That's you mentioned these pursuers. What do you know about the pursuers that have come after him?
They come from the
They
sky.
blow up when they die.
Well, they have, at least the one that we encountered, it seemed to have some wide variety of abilities. It was able to turn the wildlife mad, it could summon darkness, seemingly at will, but I don't know how magic works, and frankly, I'm not sure I'll ever understand how it works. But it seemed he had a variety of talents, both magical and non magical, and he seemed a capable fighter as well.
Do you know where they're coming from? It would be, he says,
The sky.
he kind of like questions the sky.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. When we encountered it first, it was a cloud, or at least it had the same appearance. And then, after dealing with a long train ride of bullshit that prevented us from sleeping for a good chunk of time, it fell down from the sky and engaged us.
Interesting.
According to Vintash, it's no metal that he's ever seen. And it had some weird properties to it. Also, he was able to like convert local wildlife to explode when they die. Also,
I'm not there, but do one of us still have the wanted poster?
Let me check. I think I might.
I don't have it in my inventory. Someone has it, though. I don't think we ever got rid
it's
of
in
it.
some party inventory
We could
somewhere.
say that if you one of you wants to say
Yeah.
that you have it.
Jackson will
I
just
have
slide it
my
onto
own
the table.
poster.
He'll just slide it onto the table.
Mm,
This is all the information we have.
mm. He
Doesn't
looks
really
at
tell
it.
us much.
He says, "Right, the design of this is quite unusual.
Alien, almost.
Do you mind if I keep this and look more into this?"
I have no complaints.
I don't have a problem.
I don't think anyone would mind if it helps us get a solution.
Says,
It's
yeah.
not. Yes, well, we can't exactly speak for Medi, who I believe, would be the core voice in the situation. So, since he is currently predisposed, your discretion.
Yes. What is yes, he says if they're coming says if they're literally dropping from the sky, then that is a concern, especially for the safety of Harua. If there are entities out there that like or that are like this, it would be best that we're prepared for it in case
Well,
something
he
comes up.
he didn't necessarily come from the stars. He could have came from an airship that we didn't see and left before the sun rose.
That's true. Or if they're capable of spontaneous appearance, then it would not
Didn't we
stand
see
her.
it catapulting through the sky though the night before?
Possibly.
We have no solid evidence that that was the same thing.
It was really weird coincidence then.
Says, well, if it was dropped from an airship, then that's even more concerning. As uh, the airship technology should be. Well, he says it is not common. I'll just put it that way. If there's other people that are moving out with airships that we're not aware of, then this is definitely something that we need to be concerned about. So
That sounds out of our pay grade for now.
he laughs and says, "Probably, but the way you're going, maybe not forever.
Good to
Depends
hear.
on what you are interested in."
Well,
Hmm.
if it's become a threat to us, which it has, I feel like we're bound to get involved eventually. It's a matter of when.
And if the pay is good.
I'm
Well, that'd
interested in
help.
repaying my debts, and helping Medi with that is part of repaying.
Yes. He nods. Well, unless you guys have any questions for him, I will kind of. We don't have to go through every
Yeah.
little bit here.
I'm gonna float
Mhm.
one to him as reading, like, and what has our gracious host been up to since we last met?
There are various matters that I have to attend to. One of them is you'll see here as we get to Charmid. You'll see what one of the things that I've been involved in coordinating, but obviously there are other issues that present themselves in, important in and about Haurua and outside of it. Uh, says the says there are at any one time there are forces that are always at work. Every country and nation and peoples have their own agendas, and it's good to keep an eye on them. It says um, we've been there has been an odd. He says the main thing that I've been concerned about is, and he kind of looks he kind of looks away from the table, kind of as if he's thinking about Lincoln, and he like kind of and he says, as your friend had asked about, several wizards in Haurua have either been killed or disappeared in the past uh, couple of years or so. Um, he says that we're wondering if there's. It seems that there has been no correlation between them, but when we're looking at the numbers and the circumstances, some of them just seem to have, even ones of that have been here for decades and embedded themselves into deeply into communities, have just up and disappeared and never to return. All their possessions taken with them, um, as if they decided that as if they just left for no reason, and nobody has any knowledge of them. They then they do not appear to show up on any scrying that we've been able to look into. And he says, and some like Rodea have uh, we have found that they have perished. Um, we think that there might be some sort of connection here, and we're not sure. We haven't been able to find anybody that's been willing to give up any information or any indication of this. As I said, wizards that um, the wizards that disappear are gone without a trace beyond scrying, and the ones that we find that wind up dead, they're not able to be risen from the dead either. We have tried with Rodea specifically. There was we were able to get a cleric that should have been able to resurrect her, but we found that there was some sort of block, this almost necrotic kind of uh magical curse upon the body or something like that that appeared to be preventing resurrection. Um, we think that there might have been something at play here beyond uh, just normal politics or inter-wizard disputes.
Is that why you guys needed the cauldron originally?
He says, "Well, the cauldron was a specific request uh, of Vost, while there's the um,
Oh,
he had
Mother's teacher, right?
yes, he had specifically requested this artifact to be studied, um, to be brought back so that we could take it to where's the name of the location here? Um, to Mount Talath in Haurua, where it could be studied. He said that he had many uses for it, possible uses for it, but um, and that's why it was done. In fact, he is. It has been delivered, and that is the last that we have heard from him. Is that he has taken it there to be studied.
Maybe he's in on the conspiracy. He gave me real sketchy vibes. Also got me locked up in prison, so take that
We
with
do
what
have
you
an
will.
innate bias against the man, which is well deserved. The prick.
It's
Julian,
interesting.
do you remember if I told him about changes coming at all?
No, yeah, I don't think you've mentioned that yet.
I don't think we mentioned it yet. We were
You
going
guys think I
to.
should?
You've mentioned much of it to.
Uh,
I was considering it. I think Damalia would be fine
Jackson
with it.
will think for a moment and say, "Are you familiar with the phrase change is coming at all?"
Is no, we haven't seen any noticed any of this. What is this in reference to?
Well, lately I've been hearing from different sources the phrase change is coming, choose the right side. Apparently there's some cult or something that's been recruiting wizards. Might be connected to this incident.
Hmm.
He is going to. He takes that information very seriously. He kind of leans back in his chair and thinks he's that. Where have you heard this? This is news I have not been privy to.
Uh, well, once from people at a pudding festival. There's a story behind that, but they meant business.
Oh.
The pudding fair.
Yeah,
We can
pudding
just
fair.
shoot like stock straight up by like the campfire. Vintash, I just have the feeling that someone mentioned something horrible that I never want to hear about again.
Second was from Julian. I'm not trying to say his name. What city did I meet Levant Arcalis? I think his name was outside of
Oh, that was in the first. That was I think in Marlith.
Marlith.
That was the first Dam Breath. No, you guys met him on the road to when you were going to Kathir.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
right.
The second time I met from a fellow traveler on the way to Kathir. And I saw it in graffiti once as well in some port town. So I think there's definitely something at play here.
Yeah, you would have seen the graffiti in Marlith, but Levant, you would have met
Marlith,
on the way
yeah.
to Kathir. Yeah. He says. Then you said they were targeting wizards specifically.
Yeah, they were recruiting wizards from, or spellcasters from Havrua is what I was told.
If the slogan is any indication, it sounds to me like a rebel group. Tired of the way things are, have a hand in the rebellion.
I did think it was some minor revolutionary group.
This is disconcerting. Says, excuse me for a moment, and he's going to get up from the table and kind of walk out of the room for a moment.
Flash forward in the campaign. I've accidentally snuffed out a revolutionary group, making Haru a better place.
Let's
Whoops.
fast forward. We talked to Vintash later, and he's like, "Yeah, guys, I just got word from my buddies about this whole, our revolution is finally picking up. Change is coming, guys."
Oh no.
Send cue that SWAT team GIF of just busting in the game.
Like, yeah,
Oh, no.
this nice guy named Jermel, I think it was, offered to help us out. Really weird how he brought his armed guards, though. Hang on, they're actually messaging me right now. Oh, everyone's dead.
So do you guys say anything to each other as you guys are there before he comes back?
As they walk away, I'll say, did I miss anything?
I don't think you did, though I had no idea that you were. I could be misremembering, but I don't recall you mentioning that you were approached by someone about it.
Well, the first time I didn't think anything of it. It was in the pudding festival. I thought they were just part of the weirdness.
Hmm.
I think I told you guys about the graffiti, though.
Maybe the graffiti. My
Yeah.
memory is
I think
getting a
there was
bit
even
hazy.
you would have even seen a sign in Halagard, like in Thieves' Cant. That was
Would have mentioned that as well.
okay.
It's peculiar that we've run into so many examples of this phrase, and yet an
And he
agent of the government hasn't seen so much as a lick of it. It's certainly.
Maybe they were trying to tell us something.
I wouldn't say we've run into it. I would say Jackson's run into it, and Jackson has a way of interpreting things that most people wouldn't.
What does that mean?
That means there are signs that you can see and understand. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh,
They're like,
compliment.
oh yeah, there's 6 slashes here, and over on this other wall, 30 feet away, there's 4 other slashes in a different direction. So clearly that means that change is coming. And I'm like, yeah, you got it, champ.
I can teach you a few things sometime if that's what you like.
Jackson actually just knows how to read Braille because that's just what Thieves' Cant is.
I mean, I wouldn't be
would
surprised if
actually
there
be-
was a Braille section of Thieves' Cant.
That would actually be really interesting way to go if a take on that.
I mean, you could easily home rule it as that would probably make sense for like thieves and rogues to have non-silent communication that most people wouldn't get.
Yeah, using sign language too. That would definitely be a good take on that. So as you guys are after a few minutes, Jarmel is going to come back in, and he kind of comes back to his table, kind of throws his like the little cloth napkin down on his table. He says, "Well, your suspicions are right. Vost has disappeared, along with the cauldron and all of his possessions."
When
I'm
did
a
he disappear?
genius.
Say again. It appears that it was within the past 10 day or so, when nobody's really sure the exact time frame.
Past 10 day. So he could have disappeared anywhere between now and the beginning of the last 10 day? And no one knows the exact time?
Says, well, he would have operated. I mean, he held a high enough position that he wouldn't have been under constant observation. He says the wizards are trusted to. He says we have to perform honorably. We have not had reasons to do things like that. He says at Mount Talath there are protections in place. It does not seem that he gained access to anything that he wouldn't have, but it does appear that he took the cauldron as part of his disappearance.
Does the man have assistants? Anyone close to him that could be interviewed?
It says yes. There was his assistants, Sadie Tickentalk. They blame Wilder for that. Says she said she's the one that she also has disappeared. His home appears to have been emptied. and it is empty. It is empty, and him and his assistant have disappeared, and they're not showing up under any methods of scrying.
Were there any signs of resistance in the home?
None. It appears that it does appear that things were packed up hastily. There's many furniture, this furniture and things like that are left, but important personal items appear to have been taken. Appears that it was done in a rush. The agents that investigated the home said that they found that there was still hot tea on the stove when they arrived.
So that sounds more like a kidnapping or something.
Kidnapping, or they fled suddenly.
Yes.
With everything from their home?
Wizards.
Says there are ways of packing things up very quickly.
I'm
And
not
we're-
there, and this is unrelated, but did we ever mention to him the what the fuck are they called?
Yeah.
The
You have such a way with words.
Oh, the
Cthulhu
Illithid.
people.
Illithid.
Not an Illithid, the Cthulhu people.
Huh?
The
What they're
Mind
called.
Flayer?
Mind Flayer. There's the Mind Flayer's apprentice that just disappeared a million
Flayer
years
and
ago,
Illithid.
and we never found her.
Which ones are you talking about?
Are you talking about Mezcara?
Mezcara.
She was not. She just she disappeared, but she wasn't. Or you don't know that if she was. She appeared to be I think she was a half elf or elf. As far
I
as
think
you
she
know.
was an elf. Female
But-
elf.
I don't think you mentioned the details of that of what you experienced there to him at least.
Probably not. I was just
Yeah.
curious. There's just a Mind Flayer apprentice person running around like a goofball.
He
It's
says.
sus.
He says, "Well, this is." He says as he kind of like pushes his seat in. He says, "This is definitely something that we need to take much more seriously now. It appears that there is some sort of conspiracy afoot." He's going to say, "What I'm going to tell you does not leave this room, or well, you can talk to your friends outside." But says, "There
Hang
is
on.
yes."
If they are allowed to hear this conversation, they should be here to hear it. Can I go get them?
I think that's a good idea.
He nods.
Alright.
While she goes
a moment.
to do that, are you familiar with Castir at all?
You're gonna have to refresh the DM memory here.
Castyr. It's I have in my notes looking for casters in Castir. I think it was part of the changes coming thing.
I think that might have meant to be Kathir.
Okay. I don't know
Um,
how to spell that, but
What can you give me the spelling again?
cast and YR. Cast YR.
I don't know if let me see.
Okay.
Let me check to make
Maybe
sure.
I misheard it.
Maybe I'm not thinking of something because there's yeah, I think that from
Okay.
what I remember is that probably would have meant to be Kathir, but
Guess I misheard it. All right. Then
I'll double check my notes to see if I have and I'll retcon any kind of conversation here. But he'll kind of yeah. So I don't recognize that as far as
Hey,
what I
okay.
was thinking about.
I think I was also told to head there if I was interested, so that might have some connection.
Okay. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. That's
Yeah.
the location that he was.
I think
Okay,
that's where Levant Arcalis told me to go to.
I see. Okay, hang on. That might be something. Let me check. That
Okay.
might be something different then.
Okay. I mean, this all happened within like a year IRL, so I'm surprised we know any details.
I'm a fighter.
I think I'm a pirate. What class am I?
He admits it.
Hey, finally.
I said think. The
It's
details
a
are
confession.
hazy.
It's good enough.
Oh fuck! Oh!
Jackson's tiny health pool is now gone.
Oh yeah. Well, health check, Sean. Health check.
You want max or current?
Max.
87.
Ooh, someone wants to feel humble.
43.
Oh, 43! Oh my god, you're so
Please
tiny!
protect me.
You have less than half of Lincoln's health.
I am delicate.
43!
I am a
Holy
small
shit!
little baby.
And you were the
Bro.
person that got dunked in lava twice.
I have more health than Devon's campaign, and we're a level lower than right now.
Please. I am small squish.
I have a level 3 fighter in another campaign, and he's 10 HP lower than you.
I've rolled health.
Stop!
You
Take the
sneeze on Ian
average!
and he's dead.
I want to roll.
This is a sign that the Fates want Jackson dead. They're just waiting
Yeah.
for the opportunity.
How have I made it this far?
Why are you a frontliner with 43 HP?
Imagine how much health you'd have if you still had a snout.
Yeah, the snout is...
I have a snout. No one seems bothered, but I have a snout.
Ian,
The
if
snout
it
wasn't
helps,
holding
you
you
have
back.
more HP than Ver did.
That's
He
not...
died at like level 3.
He died at level 5 or 6. Somewhere around
I
there.
have 4 levels on him then.
Yeah.
And you...
Or
Devon
Really
died
that
with
big a
like
difference.
32 max HP or something like that.
That's not that far off.
I'm
No.
gonna get magic missiles.
Activity images.
God, I'm gonna
Who
be at like
counterspells shield?
a Chad.
Dude,
I'm
we're gonna be level 20 and somehow you're gonna get power word killed.
Oh no. God, it's like I'm gonna be at 2 HP. It's gonna be like wee woo, wee woo,
No,
and then
no,
Julian's
Ian.
gonna be like, I cast magic missiles. Wee woo, wee woo.
At some point, we're gonna be at like level 19. You're going to have 99 HP. We're gonna be
Yeah.
about to level up. You're going to step on a trap that power word kills you instantly right before we finish level.
I just fall.
Yep. Like
Holy...
a goddamn brick.
So he's going to if you mention Castir, he's going to say that is a port city in Mulhorand.
What's Mulhorand?
That is a nation to the north of here. So it is like
So it was Castir.
yes. Sorry,
shit.
you're right. Thank you.
Can we get a voice clip of that? I love
Sorry,
people telling me I'm
I
right.
forgot the stream just ended. I apologize.
Oh fuck, unlucky.
Damn, that's bad timing.
Unlucky. Goddamn ping. Crashing the stream.
He's going to say, if this is, he says, Mulhorand is quite far north. We have not had any, Haurua has not had any issues with them for many decades.
Maybe it's people then, not the nation.
It would be a good staging point that is out of our purview normally. That is, we don't tend to pay much attention to theirs. We haven't had any reason to.
Hello, me and Vintash are here now.
Hello.
Damalia went and got us from outside.
Yes, please sit down. This is urgent.
No.
So,
What's your con modifier?
you guys you fill him in?
Please do.
Yeah.
Okay.
My con mod is 2, Sean.
2!
You're lying.
I'm not!
Dude, Ver had a -1.
Good for you! I've rolled 1s and 2. I've re-rolled 1s.
Ver had at least 2 level ups where I gained 0 HP from leveling up.
What you want me to tell you, man?
I have your same con modifier. My HP
You're
is
also
a
a fighter,
fighter.
though.
I am
You
a
have a hit
fighter,
die that
but
makes sense.
it shouldn't be much higher than yours.
What the fuck do you people want from me?
Roll
More
better.
health.
To have more
Fuck
health.
you!
Ian, why did you install the Fire Emblem mod that gives you negative growth stats?
Because you're not a real gamer unless you play it. That's what the people on Reddit told me.
Oh boy.
Ian, it's mandatory that you take tough at your next feat.
No, I want to take the anti-tough. I want to half my health.
Oh my god.
All right. Let's see. Okay, so he's so once you get in and you kind of are able to kind of fill everybody in, um, he's going to say, well, it has been we have not been able to get any proof of this, and it has been something that has been long suspected, but we're not sure of it. But we believe that amongst the Council of the Elders, the wizards that rule Haurua, we believe that there is a sect that has been meeting in secret. The thought was that they were using. It has been thought that they might be using shadow magic and dark magics, uh, and trying to move the council to whatever their play is. But we haven't been able to have any evidence of this. Um, when we're not sure who it is that is involved, it is essentially, as you might imagine, these shadowy organizations that even my spies and contacts have not been able to get information on. Um, However, I have had more than one informant go missing in the pursuit of knowledge of this. So we believe that there is something there, but um, we have no proof of this. But he says it sounds like this. We may have a lead into it. If you're saying that wizards are disappearing or dying, and it's not you've seen information in Halrua, then they may be trying to work from within with outside forces. Um,
If this is a possible sect of the council who is working with these people, I have some slight concerns about giving them a godly artifact that lets you
he can.
control dragons.
He says, "This understood. This is not. This will not be going to the General Assembly. The procurement of these are being kept under wraps in order to make sure that there are as little hindrances to it, the recovery of them." He says, "You never know." He says, "While we don't suspect that, while there's suspect that there's this sect, and if they find out about it, then that would not be good. So obviously there's that level of secrecy." Says, "Some of these wizards have gone. They've been here for. They're old, and they tend to sometimes let things slip." So he says, even by accidents. So he says, so there are some times that we have to move in with less approval from the entire council.
I see.
Mhm.
I suppose as long as the contact is secure.
He says, "I have vetted them myself. They are um, they are working with me and the elder that I represent, or on our behalf, I should say."
All right, very well then.
Says, yeah. He says, "I suggest that you limit the information that you let out if you are dealing with any of the if any elders or wizards in Helrua, as I said, we don't know who may be involved in this. Um, it could be we don't want the wrong groups getting any information." Trying to and as far as like if you guys when he's talking about like the dark magic and shadow magic, he would explain that that's related to the goddess Shar, who essentially like created the now what is it, there's the Feywild, and what's the opposite? Is the
Shadowfell?
Shadowfell. She's the one who created the Shadowfell, and they use like the dark magic and from there to fuel their magic and come up with some really nasty stuff. So I'm can't find I'm just going off of memory here. I'm trying to remember where exactly I talked about it, but yeah, so that is what he mentions to you guys about, and says, I recommend he says, make sure that this does not get out. We don't want them to know that we have any information regarding their activities. Otherwise, we may lose any leads that we have.
Right.
What should we do if we do run into someone who is touting this dribble?
He says, well, I mean, you can ignore it, and if it takes you out of your way, I know that you have your own agendas and things that you want to do. He says, but obviously, if you're to follow the white rabbit there and see where that goes, that could lead to a lot of information. Just make sure you don't get yourselves in over your heads or blow your own covers. But he says, if you do find somebody that is recruiting and knows more information, that could be invaluable.
How tied to you are we in the eyes of others? Is there a paper trail or something?
Who are you?
Good
That
answer.
answers that.
Eh,
That should be good.
He says, as far as our contacts, the elder I work for knows that I have operatives, and but your names have not been passed to them, nor have they been shared to anyone else other than my own. The gods outside know that you are my guest. They do not know your specific information.
You trust them anyway, though, right? Your
Yeah.
guards? Okay, so that's fine. But it would probably be good to keep this to as few people as possible. Just in case anything pops up and we need to act independent or anything.
That's a good point.
Yes, he says, I agree. He says, besides, as he looks over at Huntar, he says, what good is outing your, how did you put it, suicide squad, if they are going to be effective?
I
And
do
then
think it's
cue the
fun.
title card. Man through the prologue,
Pete
boys.
Davidson getting shot.
Presents the Suicide Squad.
And then we get sued.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Twice.
We've made it.
Is that how you know you made it? A lawsuit?
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Also,
Yeah.
You get a lot of Twitter clout for getting sued, Ian.
Ah.
And then you can tell a story on your podcast and gain followers.
I
So-
got sued by Warner Bros. And then 3 people click on it and go, wait, no, everyone's been sued by Warner
Yes.
Bros. Fuck off.
We make it better. We just have Devon doing like a PogChamp face, like take up 3/4 of the screen.
With like 6 arrows pointing at the Warner Brothers logo that we use
Yeah.
without copyright so we get sued again.
Yeah.
Then we say that YouTube hit our account with the DMCA unfairly, and we have to like.
Easy.
Yeah.
We
I'm
just
just
go to
tweet.
hard.
Censoring our
YouTube.
Twitch streams?
Alright, guys, I have an idea. We should rent a
Devin?
billboard using
yeah.
modded imagery from
excellent.
the hit MMO Final Fantasy XIV
That's right.
against the terms of
Let's
service.
dynamite some outfits, baby.
And then use Dynamite outfits. We'll use the official logos without any like copyright actual like formatting or anything. We won't pay any money for it. We'll just put them up.
I think the poses were
Yeah,
modded as well.
6.
Beautiful.
Just
Jules, when you send this episode live, you gotta like name it "We Got Sued" and then just morph Huntar's image so
Yeah.
it looks like the PogChamp logo.
Oh my god.
Yo, no, man, I need to commission you. Really.
Yeah.
Your thumbnail.
So, all right. Well, yeah. So he's going to say, if you can, find out what you're able to from the person. You have. I'll leave your methods to your discretion. But make sure that you are not exposed, and definitely do your best to make sure I'm not exposed as well, as I will do the same on my end to keep your
Will
names
do.
secret.
That would be
I'm gonna
that would
forget your
be
name when I'm not
ideal.
with you.
Yeah, if you get tortured, that would be unfortunate.
He says, yes, that would be. He says, it's too bad you don't have your friend Wilder. He says, wizards are able to come up with this very fancy spell. It's called contingency. You may want to look into it.
Knowing the man, he probably would have used contingency to make
On
a
his pig.
Pig Utopia island or something.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we no longer have contact.
Right.
Well, yeah, because he's dead.
Stop telling people.
Who? I don't
It's
know
not
who you guys are
allowed
talking
here.
about.
I don't
On
know
that
what he
note,
did.
actually,
Like,
do you think you could maybe keep an eye on Medi from time to time? At least until we're back with him.
Yes, we'll. I'll make sure to put in a stop for regular scrying on him. Check-ins to make sure he's okay.
Thanks. Well, on that refreshing and invigorating note,
Yes.
Yes,
Alright,
dinner was quite a fair bit more interesting than I was expecting.
says, yes, same here. If you'll excuse, I think I have business to attend to. Have a good evening. Enjoy your rests.
you as
Cool.
And then he
So,
kicks us out of the tower.
well.
You know, yeah,
Fixes
he
that.
excuses himself to this other room as you guys are able to go off and do whatever.
well, I think I'm good for a nice hot bath. Anyone care to join me?
I'll just narrow my eyes.
Vintash,
Not in a million years.
Vintash like is standing behind Lincoln, and is like,
Oh, don't you dare. Come on, Vintash, we have to go back out to help keep watch.
he's like, oh, all right. He does
Dragging by
like
his fucking
he
ear.
does grab like there's like a little slice of like chocolate cake that's on the table. You see as he kind of grabs that as he's walking.
Jesus.
Goodness.
Yeah, I hope you approve of all the things that I'm doing to your character, and if not, be here next time.
Him
The only
using the
thing-
logs as a weapon is very on brand.
The other thing he probably disliked, he disliked you let the rabbit live.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, you guys are able to, unless you have anything else, we can kind of fast travel a little bit here.
I think.
Let's shuffle along, yeah.
Fast
I'm gonna make some more
travel along.
poison overnight, actually.
Okay. Do you have to make a check on that? I think you with your
No.
poison kit. Oh no, you don't. Okay.
I do have to use all my money, however.
Okay. That's right.
You are so broke.
All the money that you guys refuse to spend, or the money that you have on hand, but not the money that you have in
We
in
don't-
party loot, I guess.
We still need to figure out what to do with that 25k we've got burning a hole in our hole.
Mhm.
Burning
The
a
second
hole
money goes
in a
into
hole.
party loot, I just consider that money gone.
Yeah,
We're never
yeah,
gonna
okay.
touch it. Like we're gonna forget about it.
It's there to power scale our wealth. It doesn't serve a purpose besides just setting the scene for how rich we're supposedly.
I mean, currently we've got no money in the party loot bag. At least from the document, but I doubt that's been updated.
I don't update shit.
Yeah, I
Party
know.
notes or something, or
I don't think it would be in party notes because that's where I saved like all the quest information, contact information. I'm very exhausted, so I haven't taken any notes today, but I'll get around to it tomorrow.
no worries. Yeah, you may want to find out where that money went, unless you guys.
I do not have access to the whole, Sean. I think that's a Gi only thing, unless I'm stupid and don't see it. Ugh. Okay, yeah.
It's all right. It's been a day.
It has 200 gold pieces total worth of art objects, a couple of potions, and gear that Vintash has on hand. No money in the actual hole itself. Unless that hasn't been updated. Pretty sure we split it last time, and it's in. Pretty sure we split it last
I
time.
definitely did not spend 5k worth of gold.
We'll
Well,
figure it all out later. It's not relevant
that is
now.
the second part of tonight's adventure. What happened to the missing gold? Hardy Boys mystery.
We got sued for all our money.
Yeah, Warner
There you
Brothers
go.
took it. I
There's
drank.
your thumbnail.
Well, you do have money somewhere. But
Yeah, allegedly.
so as you guys are able to sleep, and you guys continue traveling. You do notice the pace has picked up a bit as you head towards there. As Jarmel seems to want to make sure that they get back in time to deal with other things. So, but it is essentially the same routine as in each night. When you do camp, he will create the mansion for those who would like to stay there, as the guards make their camp outside. Um, And if you guys have at any point here, you have any further questions, you can ask. But otherwise, you guys make it. Will take. Let's see, how long is that total journey here? Let's see. Let me get the ruler out. My arrow defeats your arrow.
Ah, damn.
So about 500. So yeah, it would be about 6 days or so that it would take. So let's see here. We were last on the 18th, so this is now the 20. You'll arrive on the 25th. Elias is 25th
Oh boy. Okay.
in Shermid.
Wait, we left on the 19th. Okay, yeah, 19th, 26th. Okay.
Um, yeah. So you arrive in Sharmid. As you guys arrive here, you see this is a walled city here, but you can see as this is kind of the conjunction of three different of the Golden Road as well as the road that heads east. This is definitely a major kind of trading cities. You see there are caravans as you get closer. There's caravans and wagons and coming in and out, as well as farms around the city to support the food and things like that. Um, you guys, it seems like a kind of what you would expect for. You would expect this for a more one of the nations that you've been in, and Haru, or maybe Dambrath is kind of this style city. But this does seem, as you've passed a lot of these kind of smaller towns and things like that, does seem a little bit more established than you would expect from the Shar, which is kind of this wild lands kind of uh plains and things like that are out here. So it definitely kind of stands out there. But what you guys notice more out of place is you see that maybe about a mile away from the city to the west of it, um, you see high up in the clouds there appears to be just a ever-present kind of dark cloud um, that doesn't seem to move and seems to be several miles wide in the sky and just kind of hangs there. Um, and whereas even on a sunny sky, like the rest of the clouds that move by are just normal white clouds, this seems to be kind of a stationary thing.
What's
Um,
going on up there?
uh, Jarmel says that is where we're going. He
What?
says,
On
he says, if you look, he kind of says, yes, here, look now. And he'll kind of point as you guys are kind of arriving through, you're in now Charmid and kind of moving through the city. Um, he points out, and you can see off in the distance, you see in the sky, you see a moving object kind of slowly moving. And as it gets closer, you see that it appears to be some sort of airship. You see this kind of ring of like fire on the back side of it that seems to be kind of pulsing it forward or moving it forward. And you see it will slowly just kind of it enters into the cloud and disappears. And he says,
I am. I'm just gonna go with the flow.
you see it does. It's kind of coming. It comes from the west. So from this direction, you will see it coming in. Let me move the map over a little bit. Here. So so that everybody can see the shark.
Rawr.
So yeah, as you guys arrive there, and then you guys come out a little bit over here, he's going to he'll get to there, and you see there is what appears to be like a hot air balloon that is tied up on the outside of the city as you get across to the west and exit out the left of the city. And but it is so you just see this basket and this giant kind of balloon like cloth over it that is inflated, and but there is you see he says, there's all right, and he as he escorts you all out of the carriage, he kind of escorts you into this like basket that's underneath, and once you guys are all inside, unless stop me at any time if you want to say or do something, but he you get inside this little basket, and you see the guards will kind of untie it from the ground, and as they do, you slowly start to rise up towards the as you lift off the ground. um, you see he has um, a couple of what appears to be levers in there, and as he pulls one, you can kind of feel there's from underneath the basket there's this kind of you suddenly hear this whooshing of air as you kind of are propulsed, moves you in a direction as he kind of seems to be like kind of guiding the balloon up towards this up towards the this black cloud. As you guys get up to the black cloud, you will uh it suddenly, as you kind of first enter into it, everything is pitch black and you can't see kind of anything around you at the moment. But as you start to get through it, you see that it starts to clear up a bit inside of it, and you start to see lots of like moving lights. And as things kind of start to clear up in towards the center of this cloud, you see there's this kind of enormous floating platform, as well as what appears to be dozens of airships. Um, as you guys move up
shit.
towards this place. And let me get out.
Damalia, it's that easy. Ship air, ship air. They
Now
have
is
dozens
not
of
the
them.
fucking
As
time,
Jackson's
Huntar.
taking all this, he's unconsciously doing the ship air like hand motions
Oh
and
my
just
god.
trying to take it all in.
So let me get you guys over to
Ship
this map
air.
here.
Oh, there's a map.
You will have to zoom out a bit.
Oh my god.
Wow, look at all these.
Did you make a fucking aircraft carrier?
Hey, I thought we were ripping off Marvel. Isn't this the their like air carrier thing that they have?
Definitely.
I forget what it's called. But yeah, as you guys get up to here, you see as you look around, there are just dozens of these airships that appear to be parked here. You see there are movements of crews moving in and out. You can see below and above you there are other airships that are flying about here.
Is ours the one that's on fucking fire? Because that's cool.
I hope not.
These look sick.
Holy
Quick
Welcome back,
question,
by the way.
Chief. Is the fire not, dangerous to the wooden airship?
He says this is it is elemental fire. That it is there is it while it burns to create and creates drafts of air. It does the wood and the metals that are used around it are treated to not be affected by that. Um, and he will start to. He says, he says, I you will he says, follow me. I'll take you to the ship that we were preparing. And you guys kind of so like here this ship is like the part where the fire is, the wings that have the fire are about 30, 40 feet above the walkway.
Is
So
that
it's kind of-
safe?
he walks under it to show that it is. As you guys continue kind of walking through here, he points out as you guys get over to here. He points
Jesus
out
Christ, it's
to
fast.
You guys, change is coming. It throws us off.
um he points off to
Skywells.
this ship. He says that is one if you like that style that you could take if you're looking at it. He says, and you see kind of on the ship, the side of it, there doesn't appear to be a name, like an actual name. You just see it appears to have some sort of marking that's just like it looks like stenciled in on the side of it, just like really quickly. You just see several points where it just says, like on this ship in particular, you see it says IE-94X. And then you see on this one, you see this, so that's what this one is. You see this ship over here has a different label. It says IE-34 MA. As you guys,
My mic.
I don't want to tell you how to do your
Nice.
job, but those are really terrible names for ships.
he
Can't believe
says,
they named all the ships after graphics cards, guys.
he says, yes. He says, well, they haven't been named yet. They're not. They haven't been brought into proper service. They are still being prepared for their final purposes. He says the company that is building these just uses them as designation for the different classes.
Wow. Very
I didn't even know a company that could build stuff like
mathematical, I
this
suppose.
existed in Halrua.
There isn't one in Halrua. These are friends from the Sword Coast. Have
These
you heard
are
of
important.
Have you heard of
No.
a company
No.
called
No.
Yados Enterprises?
No!
Oh, and Ian's not fucking here.
Oh my god, Ian!
No, I'm
Oh.
here. I'm
Okay.
here.
Oh, good, good.
Oh my god!
I've never heard of it before in my life.
He
I
says,
can't say I've heard of them, but
Ah.
they gotta be pretty wealthy and very smart to come up with stuff like this.
Large muscles.
he says,
You-
they're a rather interesting company. They started out as adventurers like you, from what I've heard of their past.
I took an arrow to the knee.
He says,
Alright, so I jump
there,
off.
of course, you never know necessarily what is the truth in some of these origin stories. But they did acquire some wealth and they started a shipping company and made some pretty good wealth on their uh, as they did. And their projects got grander and grander, and we found them to be the perfect partner that was in a position to work with us on this. He
Wow.
says, of course, all of this doesn't leave here. I can count on that, of course.
Yeah,
I'll take
yes.
it they're
I mean,
friends
I
of
hope
yours.
the airships leave here. It'd be kind of lame to make all them just for them to sit here and not do anything.
Just this is just a staging point. We're at Liberty Point Delta.
Liberty Point Delta.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And you guys kind of walk past, and you see you see this like fountain that it pours into this kind of like pond, this man-made pond in the center. And meanwhile, you do see there are people that are walking about. You do see several kind of guards, but you see a lot of workers like moving crates about and kind of they seem to be working on the different ships that are docked as they're moving about. Um, and he's going to so he walks this way. He says, if you need to spend the night, he says, down here is the kind of main reception hall and where you can spend some time. But he says, I'm not sure how big in a hurry you are, but let's take a look at some of the other ships as he leads you off over here. He points to each of these other ones as he points as you kind of come around here. He'll point to this one over here, and he'll say, "That's one if you like it. It's a bit." Says, "I don't know. it feels the design of that one has kind of more of a bat wing kind of look. Not my style. Uh, a bit too uh, angsty, if you were to ask me.
I'll
Uh,
keep that in mind, sir.
he looks over. He says, "No offense, of course. Everybody's got their own style." He
Mhm.
points to this ship as well and says, "This is one of our elemental models." He says, "If you would like, uh, you can. That is one of the ships that you can take. But the one I had in mind for you is this one." As he leads you here, he says, "This one is a propulsion one. It is the nice thing about this one is it is one of the faster models. It does allow for quicker travel through the air." He says, and it's not too complicated to run. And he points to, he kind of looks to Jackson and Damalia. He says, "I'm sure you have more than enough experience on a ship to be able to handle this."
We can probably manage, yeah.
Mhm. This one's designation is IE 46BA. So that is the you see on there. He says, he says, well, we also have quite a few others that aren't here at the moment, but this is what's docked at here, and I'm sure that as long as you are going to be using this, we can. Uh, it is not required at the moment. We have plenty of others, obviously.
I mean, this one's pretty nice. It's fast. It's got wings. It doesn't have a burning ring of fire noticeably on it that can engulf the entire thing in flames and take us all to our fiery deaths.
That we know
Yeah.
of.
Is the fire a stylistic choice or?
It's as I mentioned, the fire creates uh, it creates hot air that is as it's created, it kind of moves. It creates movement.
Hmm,
Says I'm not sure. It's like this is um, we let the engineers handle that.
fair
Yeah,
enough.
well,
Well,
I'm gonna poke
this
around
one's
if no
nice
one
and simple.
minds.
This one has my vote.
I too vote for this one.
Mhm. He says, "Feel free to christen it any actual name that you prefer." He says, but he says that says I'm sure that he says your he says just be sure that he says, well, you know how to deal with naming ships, I'm sure.
Yep, pretty simple process. I'm just going to poke around before we decide on anything, just to make sure it's in ship shape, as it were.
Okay. Um.
Can we
So and I
get a
will.
hammock attachment?
He
I think we
says.
could just put a hammock in it. So
You
He says you're welcome to customize this the ship, whichever one you take, uh, as you wish. Um. In the actually in the Discord here, I'll go ahead
Mm,
and so if you could we're looking at this one, but um I'll give you a list of the other I'll put pictures of the other options. And so if you guys
okay.
decide on something else, as far as some of the options of ships that are available. As you can see, there are other ships that are kind of floating about that aren't currently docked at the moment. So um you guys can keep this one or you can go to a different one. But yes, so he says, well, uh I hope this meets with your approval. As noted, this is a loan, so while you may name it, we will want it back at some point. So please try to bring it back with most of it intact. He says, I know that you will, of course, have some things that come up as adventurers. You will draw attention, but if you can, bring it back so that we can use it as needed.
We can certainly make the effort.
Mhm. Vintash is going to so let me he's going to kind of be on here. He's going to kind of lean into you, Lincoln, as you're kind of there. He's going to say, this he says, why do they need so many airships?
Vintash, I just work here. I think.
So,
I mean, there were airships back home, but none of them were perpetually on fire or anything. They were balloons. Like that one over there. Point to this one.
yeah. So, that is, I think, like I said, we're going to do a little bit of a shorter session today. So I think we'll kind of stop here. We'll work with you guys to kind of, we'll figure out what airship you guys want and kind of can do some customizations to it, I think, as you guys like. Is there anything else that you guys want to get done here? Otherwise, Jermel will bid you adieu and let you get to it. He will have like a crewman come aboard and kind of show you guys the basic controls of how to operate it, of course. But anything else that you guys would like to get accomplished before we sign off for the night?
No.
I
How
don't
good
think
do you
so.
think this is at repelling sky whales?
He says,
It's got a giant unicorn horn on the front. 2, in fact. So I think the odds are in its favor.
he says, we can mount harpoons if that's what you're. Also, if you're asking about it.
Oh, it sounds good.
Says, but if you do come across a sky whale, might I recommend not killing it, as that would be quite a sight and worth of preserving.
As long as it doesn't kill me.
All right. Well then, thank you everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We will be playing in, I think, what is today? The 13th?
Yep.
So,
Today is Saturday.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome.
So, I think actually we will, we'll talk about what we're going to play next. So thank you for tuning in. The episodes will eventually make their way up to YouTube, but the first
Say that every
37 or
time.
so are already up. Just got a couple more to get caught up here. So thank you again. If you're interested in playing some Dungeons & Dragons, check the links down below. We also have games streamed every Sunday morning and on Wednesday afternoon. And we have, I think, a new campaign that we're going to be starting up soon. So look for that.
And if you want to help give the ship a really stupid name and/or help me convince these people to paint it bright pink, please remember to go subscribe to our Patreon page, where we have a poll going, and you can cut the stream anytime. Julian, I'm trying to keep saying stupid shit.
Make sure you put a comment down below. Make sure you leave a like as well.